and welcome back to the Scrapbook Podcast, Season 2. Make our movie. Same approach, different execution. Please enjoy the show. And welcome back to the Scrapbook Podcast. This is your host, Jody Pratt, with my fellow host, Patrick Wigfall.
Oh.
We are live, baby. This is Act 2 and 3 of Honeycomb Project. And let's go. So we have Ben, Lynn, Zhang, Clarence, Randy, right? Mm-hmm. This is our 5-member team that's going to purify the earth, the old earth of these honeycomb monsters, right? Mm-hmm. And whomever is left on this earth is just a
casualty of war.
Casualty of war, buddy. Casualty of war. So, we went back and forth a little bit of the continents and stuff like that. So, each person has a continent to detonate this bomb of sorts, mm-hmm. right? We have Lynn. She's going to be in Australia. Ben is going to be North America. Zhang is South America. Clarence is Eurasia. Randy is Africa, right? And Antarctica's left out because there's no life on there.
That they know of. No, just checking.
So we go to the highest point. They go to the highest point of every, near the highest point of every continent. And that's where they have to trek down to go and detonate. Because how would you say where the ground zero is? Would it be near the highest point?
I think ground zero would be closest to sea level.
Oh.
Right?
So the adventure is them. This would have to be a series, honestly.
Yeah, this is for sure a series.
Let's say it would be chapters.
Yeah.
And it'd be the same time frame of 2 weeks that they get to ground zero.
And each season is a different person?
Chapter, yes. Yeah, it's a different chapter.
Yep.
So let's go with Lynn. Will be the first chapter, right?
Okay. Aussie?
Yeah. Australia,
mate.
You damn cunt. You bloody cunt. Yeah, so we'll have Lynn be in Australia, and she goes to the highest point. Well, it will take place over a 2-week period, right? Because that's well enough time to get from the fucking highest point to sea level. You know what I mean? Over 4,000.
It's a trek, and it's not a quick thing.
Yeah, it's not a quick thing.
And that's what the detonation process is about, is them getting out of there.
Yeah.
If you make it out. They're willing to die. They know what it is.
How would you feel if the machine, the ship that they meet up with, so these people would come from the pods, break off of pods from the main machine in the sky. The main ship, sorry about saying machine over and over again. The main ship from the sky, and then they'll plunge down into the highest point in that continent, and they trek down and they trek back up, and they'd have to go into the ship. And without those 5 pieces back into the ship does not go. How does that? How do you feel about that?
It leaves too much of like we said in the beginning. You're a casualty of war.
Yeah.
You can't base making this world live off of one nigga dying. You're a casualty of war.
Yeah.
So if we get in this bitch with one body, that shit still detonates.
Okay.
Because the whole point is it detonated.
Oh, yeah. That, but I'm talking about them escaping together. Us having that tether of...
They're singular.
Yeah, true.
They're none of them are even in communications like that. They might love each other. They might care about each other, but none of them are in...
The last communications were up in the ship.
Yeah.
Before they broke off into their pods.
And you can have like little snippets back to like...
their goodbyes.
Yeah.
Or their
Zhang,
life.
like hugging the fuck out of Lynn, being like, you're the strongest woman I've ever met in my life. And she's like, shut up, cunt.
Yeah.
And gives him a hug. And like, that's the last thing that they see. But like,
Yeah, running.
Yes. But that's what they see. Like, you're going through moments of wanting to break.
And that's each chapter. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really broken apart, and you really invest in each character.
And we start off with Lynn, but because she's the most lovable.
Yeah.
Everybody else, she was the let me step out of myself and make everybody laugh or upset kind of person.
Crew lead type of person.
Yeah.
And she would be the first one to go.
Yeah.
But, like, they all leave around the same time. They're all dispensed from the ship in the sky all at the same time. Because everybody on Earth sees this fucking ship.
Yeah.
They are in the sky at night, but people in different hemispheres.
Should we talk about how other people on Earth are?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to that. So that's their main objective.
Okay.
And what are these bombs that they're placing in this honeycomb? These hives where the monsters are.
Napalm.
I'm thinking because I'm thinking like a hydrogen type of fucking.
Like a hydrogen bomb?
Yeah, type of thing.
The H bomb?
Yeah.
So Dan Henderson is there.
Yeah. Shout out to Hendo.
Shout out my nigga Dan. Dan Henderson is one of the natty goats, and niggas sleep on him. But anyways, continue.
Or maybe.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
you think
that
so?
destroys the whole. But that's the whole point.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. You can't leave anything there.
And let's say each continent has a ground zero, right? And this bomb, when it's set off, maybe we do the napalm, or it just scorches.
Hydrogen is better because then that's when you get that full, like, you have to get out of here.
Yeah, and then
effect.
blast through the tunnels, these honeycomb-esque tunnels.
Yeah.
That they've created, and it clears all of that shit out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying?
I
like that better.
And we've tried the nuclear thing, didn't work.
They did?
It did not work.
No, but I'm saying they did in this reality?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they've tried as much as they could to do everything.
Is scorched?
That's why the Earth is scorched.
Oh, I like it.
You know what I mean? And of course they dropped hydrogen bombs, but they found out that if they can drop it into the hive,
the honeycomb will
implode within itself.
Yeah, it will facilitate the aftermath of the bomb.
Exactly.
Like, it will continue on throughout the honeycomb.
Mm-hmm. And you didn't know how they worked until they were surveying the bombs. I mean, surveying the honeycombs.
Mm-hmm.
They were watching them over months and months, and then they came up with this plan. That's why they started.
The badges.
Exactly. We tried fighting them with guns. Didn't work like that because they just scurry underground. And then we tried to nuke them, but we didn't. We destroyed little villages.
They just go deeper.
Exactly. They just go deeper, deeper. And
napalm. That's what it is. The first one is napalm, like I said, and then they realized, they're like, we killed him. We got to tell the rest of the world about this. And then you hear that underneath, and these niggas just come right back, and they're like, how?
Yeah.
How?
And they find the ground zero during this surveillance kind of thing.
The ground like cracks.
Yeah, cracks open, and you see like these just many holes, like a honeycomb, and they're just like, oh, so we have to place it right then and there.
Yeah.
And we can't just shoot missiles into the shit.
Is there a fucking queen?
Let's call
Do you want
them.
to stay away from like keeping too close to bees?
Yeah, I want to kind of stay away from that.
Okay, like I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying.
Oh, maybe we do. Maybe they're flying-esque because
flying-esque is the best shit you've ever said in your life.
Because if we just shoot the missiles, they have kamikaze type
that will take that.
That will smash right into it. That's
Asians.
why
they got Asians on the
That's
side.
why. That's why.
I'm so sorry.
They have to plant it themselves.
Exactly, because something will remove it.
Yeah, something will jump in front of it.
So essentially, this is a death sentence for every single person.
Almost, yeah.
Because if they show up, then you detonate it while you're there.
Yeah. And, you know.
And then you hit that good old doop, 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 doop on your phone, and that tells the ship, like, I'm not going to make it back.
And probably that's why they have no communication toward each other, or they have to get away from the ship because sound is really triggering to them. How do you feel about that?
I love it. Okay.
Everything is silent.
Okay. So, okay. So we got kind of like a creep into devastation kind of thing.
Yeah.
Creep into your death.
Uh-huh.
You're literally walking in your own tomb.
Yeah. Literally.
And you're like, fuck, this might be where I end this shit.
Yeah.
But I'm going to end it with a bang. And that's how... Okay, so... Where do we see the... We fucked up part of this?
I think when they touch down and see that there's still humanity here.
They see people on the outskirts?
There's still people, they're in communities. Mm-hmm. There's babies still. We've abandoned this home, and then people that we didn't deem...
And they're hearing crying, and they're seeing them fly to go kill them.
Yeah. You see how people are moving. Everybody's doing sign language and shit to communicate with each other.
I like that.
And you see, like, people are still fighting for this still to be Earth.
Yeah.
This is still Earth.
Getting ready to, like, dip and be done with this.
Yeah.
And they're like,
and not even getting ready. This is it.
Yeah.
And then so the plan is to detonate the bombs over their ground zeros.
And come
right?
back.
The whole Earth will be covered in a cloud and fire. And over time, it will purify itself and to grow into its own ecosystem again. But they're just like, we'll just wait out the next 50 years, and then we'll be good. You know what I mean? And then we'll come back. But right now, we can just, you know what I mean?
We got ships that can hold us for 50 years.
Exactly. Just like insect bombs. You know what I'm saying? You throw that shit in the house. After a while, this should be good.
The cool part about those things is all they do is push the bugs to a different area.
Elsewhere, yeah.
That's why they don't use those no more.
Wink. Okay, so we'll
never thought fast action would be good in my life. But here we go, baby.
So we start like this. So we got all that background in on why they're doing it, what they're doing, and all the shit like that, right?
Okay.
So each chapter will represent the same 2 weeks, but every person, right?
And every situation is dramatically different.
Yeah. Exactly. Dramatically different.
Where did
every
they
continent
first make contact? This hive.
Let's say they did it in Africa.
I say we blow it out in Australia.
Yeah.
Like that. Like let that be the beginning, and then Lynn dies, dog. Lynn dies. There's no hope in Australia. So you're like, oh, the next season when you get one of these guys, you're like, there's no way it happens. And then you see that Ben has barely anything to worry about. And he's easily making it there. But he does but this is the part that they don't understand is that there's a honeycomb system underneath.
Yeah.
And so niggas are thinking they're beating people. They think they're winning. And then hit that left hand side in Cuddy, there is all of them. Because there's nothing scarier. We've made zombies for a reason.
Yeah.
Because when you bury something, it should stay buried.
Absolutely.
When you hit the corner and you blow some shit up, and then out of nowhere, the ground moves, and all of your demons come out of that ground to consume you, you turn into, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Life is different.
So in the way that Lynn dies, right? I feel like she should trek from the highest part, blah, blah, blah. All that shit happens, right? Mm-hmm. And she gets she makes it there. Barely, though. She's fighting indigenous people. She's fighting, you know what I'm saying? She's staying quiet, though. She's fighting the elements and all that shit like that. She didn't know it was going to be like this. Mm-mm. And she gets there, and the bomb, how would they carry the bomb?
You know what it is it's a bomb on, it's in addition to something that's there.
How so? How do you mean?
Like, if I have a bike and I need the wheels. You know what I mean? Like, it's something like it's a MacGyver type esque shit.
Yeah.
Where like they're like, we already have a bomb there. We just need the extra shit to make that bomb into an H bomb.
Okay.
Kind of thing. Like maybe they're just adding there's an additive that they're
oh shit, nigga, they're fucking scientists.
Yes.
So it would be like, Lynn, in Australia, you have these minerals, right? If you add this and this
sodium to chloride, you know what I mean? Like
yeah. And you know what I mean? You set this pin in there, everything will turn to it'll turn to, you know what I mean?
Lynn's gotta die. She's gotta die by being like attacked by shit, but she sets the bomb off, right? And it'd be beautiful for like her to touch the minerals that are getting ready to explode as she's being like eaten from the back or attacked from the back, and you see like a piece in her eyes. As that light happens, that's the end of that her saga.
That chapter 1.
Yeah.
How would you feel about if she gets like bitten by a poisonous fucking snake, but makes it in there?
Yeah, fuck Australia, dog. They got so many venomous shits.
Yeah.
That like you could just die walking to go to the, you know.
Like on some savage shit, like cuts her fucking hand off or some shit like that and makes it into where she needs to be. Like bloodied and fucked
balls
up.
Out for this one.
Yeah, and then she sticks the pin in there and they hear the granules of that pin being stabbed into the earth, and you hear through the fucking.
She's coming down the mountain. She's late on the ship because she sees him leaving. Through like, what if they're like bats and they come out at night, or they come out through a funnel? You know, like bats at certain times will just all be like, time to go, and then they all leave at the same time.
Yeah, but if we stick to them being like bug types, I feel like it's the same thing. Some bugs are nocturnal. I want to stick to the bug type of thing because I don't want to go to was that Vin Diesel movie with him in the fucking
Pitch Black.
Pitch Black. Yeah, I don't want to go that. You know what I mean?
Well, those niggas were scared of light.
Yeah, I know that, but the whole coming out at night thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's a billion things. But I get what you're saying. All right, so what about hearing? So she's as terrified in pitch black as she is in broad daylight.
Right. So
what if she breaks something? Like you were saying, and that's what niggas hear.
Yeah.
So now she's on like I gotta move. They heard my ankle break. Because when you've heard niggas break shit. It's like a snap. You hear that shit, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna hear that shit. You're like, fuck, they're coming. And she's just hobbling. And she's a thug. She's a savage. She's gonna make it there. But will she?
Yeah. No, she doesn't.
What if that's the whole point? Is that you keep seeing people detonating the bomb and they're not? It's their last hope.
And they're not what?
Like, what if Lynn doesn't set off her bomb? And we're going off of Lynn, not the creatures. So Lynn is like, I completed my mission as she's dying. But you didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can see that. If we're starting in chapter...
How do you feel about that?
If we're starting in chapter 1 and the nigga doesn't work, then the whole shit is shit.
No. Because the crowd thinks it did. And that would build into a crazy twist at the end. Or a crazy win at the end. Because if, like, you find out that Lynn, Ben, Zhang, and Clarence didn't do what they needed to do, but Randy held it together.
But that means it's all for naught.
But it's not all for naught because the planet is scorched already. And the people that were hanging on by a thread are now, like, really dead. Let's be real.
I know, but how would that form into
just like a mental fuckery is what I'm going at.
I feel like that's just a waste of time.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm okay with that.
But even if she doesn't get it in the hive, but she sets it off outside, so we're meeting halfway with it. You know what I mean?
Well, no. I mean, if we're gonna go that direction, let's just go all the way that direction. Don't meet halfway because, for sure, Lynn is a thug and she's not going to half-ass do her job.
But if somebody fails, then another person is going to finish that. You know what I mean?
So maybe it's a story of niggas not completing their mission but still letting off the bomb.
Maybe.
Do we want humans to win in this?
It's not even humans, it's these people. Because this is not all the human race we're behind. It's these 5.
And it's sad because every time you drop a nigga, you drop a continent.
Yeah, it's a whole ball that you drop. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to take a very, very, very long time.
Very emotional scenes when they're dying.
Yeah.
It's emotional as fuck because they're like, yo, South America is gone because of me. And you bear that weight.
Or some people just do their job. You know what I mean? But yeah, some people are just like, I'm like, fuck, dude, all of Europe and Asia are gone.
Because I couldn't detonate this.
Or regardless, even if you did, they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone either way. And that's why you're here.
Yeah.
The planets are already done. So
tell me why you want them to fail so bad. Why would you feel like that is a good option?
I feel it's a play on the reality of life we're living. We're trying to save the planet, but also we're killing it. And so, like, us trying to save ourselves, but also a big part of it is us killing ourselves kind of thing. Like, it's more like the reality that we are the precursor to our own demise. And the fact that they aren't living off of the earth, they're living off of us. Right? We don't even know what these creatures are living off of. What are they living off
of? The minerals in the earth.
Minerals. So they're here for the earth. So then you're losing your home. Something's forcefully taking your home from you.
Yeah.
It's not that they're like, it's no fight at Montgomery High where niggas are like spitting in your face and then you got a boil on your back and then you die. It's more like, we want what you got, and we'll kill you for it. And you send in the best people that you have in the world, and you're losing a battle. I feel like losing is better than winning in these stories because it shows the character of a person when they lose. Winning is easy to play up, but to lose and when everything's on the line. Eurasia's on the line. South America's on the line. Africa's on the line. Like, there are things like you slip and you twist your ankle and you're like, I can't run anymore.
Right.
All of Australia is gone. Tarantulas are mad as fuck at you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, I think that's the play is that, like, I fucked up. And that's the weight that each character holds. I would feel is that they're like, I've lost. And they don't have to represent where they're from, but they can. You know what I mean? I don't care. But like Randy, you lose Africa, dog, off of like twisting your ankle.
But that's the thing. Africa's lost anyway.
I know, but like I think at the end of the world, you look back at what it was as opposed to what it is. And so you're like, yo, like, nigga. Like, this was it. This was the spot. Like, what do you know about football, bro? South Africa, let's go. And he has those memories as he's running towards detonating the bomb, or like he's detonated the bomb and like they're picking at his flesh. I don't know, but I like losing.
Yeah.
I like losing. But honestly, not every nigga has to lose. There's a lot of people on this board.
Okay, so who do you say would win and who do you say would lose? Because if this is a 5-chapter series, you know what I mean?
We start with the loss.
We start with the loss.
But a hard-fought loss with the possibility of winning. And that's when you go from Lynn, Aussie, straight to South America.
I kind of want to change how the bombs are.
All right, go.
Let's say that this is just a big ass fucking hydrogen bomb, and they're being.
That's what they released when they did the shit with Japan, right?
Yeah,
that was an H bomb, right?
Yeah, those are 2 H bombs.
Yeah,
but they'd be towing these big ass bombs with some sort of extra fucking intelligent type of thing, you know what I mean? Some sort of hover vehicle or some sort to get it there, because I'm thinking about the mineral thing and I'm thinking, that's gay. You know what I mean? But I think hovering that shit and placing it in.
What about if the vehicle was more like an insect? And
it's camouflaged as one of the, let's say, like one of the larvas.
See, your brain is fucking dope, because I was thinking about just having to deal with the breakage of the ground. You know, like, it is a honeycomb at like underneath. So if you're heavy and the weight displacement isn't everywhere, like a bug would be, you know, if you got 4 wheels.
But that's the thing, it's not wheels. It's hovering. It'd be a hovering type of thing.
This is
exactly.
In the future. Literally.
Exactly. It's a hovering type of thing. So it's like it's painted as these big giant ass larvas that these things come from. And it's just placed all the way through. So niggas don't even see it as what it could potentially be, which is devastation. You know what I mean?
Y'all will never know that story.
You never, but you will soon though. Ryan Sickler hit us up, nigga. But yeah, so maybe each hydrogen bomb is just painted as a larva, and it's just when you get there, it just drops into the earth. You know what I'm saying? Because I thought about the mineral thing on this. It's not panning out in my head. Because
I like the mineral thing because that gives you excuse for the where you're doing it. Like if they're in a hive, they're gonna build their hive around a nutrient rich area.
Yeah, for sure. But we need to go as deep as possible in what can decimate completely inside those things is a real fucking bomb.
Well, that's what I'm saying though, is that like when you deplete a nutrient rich environment, you leave shit. You know what I mean? You leave a shitty ecosystem after that. So if they're digging deeper into shit after a mineral and you're like, there's zinc over there. They're after zinc.
Yeah.
And then you fucking throw a bomb in that bitch, it is not fortified the way it would have been naturally had they not pulled out all the zinc.
Right. It's weaker.
So like that, but that's what I'm saying is like I like your idea that that the minerals are what they're chasing because it's easy to pinpoint where they're going to be, as opposed to like them just deciding where they want to be.
But I know, but that ground zero tells them where they are. You know what I'm saying? And that's them surveying.
So each time they were or they landed somewhere, they just stayed there and just
no. They through surveillance, they've seen that they've dropped somewhere through a meteor or whatever the fuck, and migrated more towards the equator type of area, and then dug deep in there.
Oh, I can see it in my head.
Do you know what I'm saying?
They're
like
walking, and then you hit the corner, like the nigga who's surveying them, and he sees them like fanning their waves, or their wings at the sun to catch like energy.
And that's where we fucked up. We just bombed the where the comet landed. the meteor hit.
Not where they were headed.
Not where they dug deep and then that's where they are.
And that's the thing is we scorched the earth.
Yeah, purposely thinking that this is a fix for it, and it didn't happen. Wow. They migrated. So
that's reality. That might happen. That might happen.
So that's where they get the plan to get the bombs and place it where they need to be.
And they have to go deeper. They're like they're not on the surface level.
Yeah, they're not. So, and if you could drop it, you could drop it down in the fucking hole. That's what two of them will be like. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna throw that goddamn that ball of trash in the basket, nigga, and just dip. I'm not gonna just place it in there deep as possible because.
And then Bruce Willis comes out with his fucking big ass forearms, and it's just like, we gotta go deep.
Ah, fuck yeah, part 4. So that's what I feel would be the best option. Is now that it's a bomb that's literally colored like their larva. Mm-hmm. And if anything, they would have to get the attention of these things without getting killed. And then they would take the larva deep into the... Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh, you are big.
Yeah, like, oh, you're going to be a fucking queen, bro. And they grab him and they dip into it and then they set it off. How do you feel about that?
I love it. You know why? Because it now gives you that, like, suspense of, like, are they going to find out that I'm in this contraption?
Yeah.
Because they see a human.
Inside? You want them to be inside?
I don't even know. I don't know.
Because inside the bomb, I don't think that. I feel like near it. So they can...
like, well, I'm talking about, like, how did we get it there? Did you drive it? Did you drop it off? How do you get it there?
Remember I said the hovercraft, right?
All right, but and then, so that means you're on the hovercraft then?
No, you're walking by that bitch. You're not just sending it there because you got to make sure that it's there without it being taken by people.
Yeah.
So you're literally walking that bitch through to where you need it to be on the edge of the zone where they can capture this fucking larva.
Remember when there were fires all through California?
Yeah.
And the sky was red?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
It's niggas walking through a red light and then being like, the second these creatures see me, I'm dead. I have to at least get this to the mouth of where this goes to, because the second they see this, they're going to take it.
Exactly.
Oh. Yeah. That sounds better.
Yeah.
I like it.
And so each person has their own adventure to get that shit as close as possible. Sound something off, because some people are just like let's say Zhang, right? He's South America, hella caves in that bitch, bro.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I have to sound off a fucking alarm to get this off because I'm standing in a cave system where there's hella shit. I'm going in deeper than I'm supposed to,
and he knows.
And they haven't picked it up. So like the signal is they like drop the hover craft on the ground and it makes it. And that vibration sends them out, and they see this fucking see this larva, and they pick that shit up and bring it down inside. You know what I mean?
That's brilliant.
And it was just like he sends it off, and he's just dropping this hovercraft over and over and over again. And he was 300 yards away, and now he's just like, what the fuck? And he gets in closer. Maybe some are smarter than what they're supposed to. Maybe they're sentient. Maybe they all communicate.
For sure they're sentient.
But that's why they all leave at the same time.
Yeah.
That's why they all have to fucking, this trek should be this amount of days. If we fall behind, that means somebody's bomb is going to be off. You know what I mean? That means somebody's shit is going to be off and they are not going to pick it up or whatever the fuck. We have the 2 weeks to do this shit, and then they go back. Or maybe they wait to set it off. Maybe they dig it so deep, they put them in where all the larva is and shit like that. And when they're in the... Wait. When they're in the pods to get back, that's when they set it off. But some people will set theirs off early because they get caught in there.
What about same vibe you're going with that? These are like you said, they're all supposed to be set off at the same time. So it's a head kick. You feel me? Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman, 5th round.
Yeah,
we're not playing around with you being dizzy. You're just going out.
Yeah,
and we got that energy, but Lynn, Clarence, and somebody else, maybe Ben, maybe Zhang, set their shit off early because they're getting ready to be killed. And they're ready in the honeycomb.
They went too far.
They went too far, like you said. And honestly, I think what it should be is exactly what you're saying, is that they wanted to go into this and walk towards what they needed.
Yeah.
But you got to go down. There is no service level win here.
Yeah.
I have to go beneath the surface.
Are we going to do this? Are we going to get it done or not?
And that's where everybody takes that, I don't want to do this or I want to do this.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to bitch out. Somebody's going to bitch out and be like, I'm not going to go down there.
Yeah.
And there's going to be niggas who are just down to like go die.
So we'll have Ben is in North America. The bomb's going to be set off in Colorado, Alma, Colorado. South America is going to be Peru.
Oof, shout out my nigga Tom Segura.
Eurasia is going to be in Tibet.
Oof.
Africa is going to be Ethiopia.
Why you gotta do them like that?
And Australia is going to be a parish or village.
That's a place?
Yeah.
Perisher?
Yes.
Damn. Niggas die there. You don't call a place like that if you don't perish there.
Yeah. So I think that would be a good type of way. Who would you say dies? Who gets the mission done? Who doesn't?
Clarence dies.
I want Clarence to be just a nerd who stares at the picture of his high school girlfriend a lot. You know what I mean? Just like he looks back at that girl and he's just like, I'm doing this for you. You know what I mean? You're back at the ship, nigga. But he dies like a horrible death and sets off the bomb early. And that's what the bomb goes off and everybody looks at the horizon like simultaneously. Maybe 3 of them because Lynn's dead too. So she dies too.
Well, Lynn died first.
I mean, but we don't know who dies, but technically she just dies first because she's in that.
That's what we're showing you.
That's the first, exactly. But she would see a bomb go off, but we just see her die first. We don't know whose bomb goes off until the later chapters.
Okay. So all it is from a distance, people watching a bomb.
Yeah.
You don't know who's watching that bomb. You don't know who detonated that bomb.
Yeah, we don't know whose bomb went off first, but we know when Ben gets to his vessel and he shoots back up into the sky, and he's like, the moment I lock back into the ship's fucking area and shit like that, I'm gonna set this motherfucker off. You know what I mean?
I like it because it gives you that, like, I don't know what season I'm in.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in the Lynn season, the Ben season, the Zhang, Clarence, Randy.
You do because that's how the every chapter is going to be like maybe 3 or 4 episodes long. You know what I mean? So you know where the fuck we're at, but it's their timeline in this 2 weeks process.
And you don't, and that's the thing is like if Lynn is out here, you know, gigging, trying to get her shit popping, make it happen, and she sees a bomb go off. You don't know who the fuck set that bomb off.
Exactly. Until we get to another chapter.
The first nigga that dies.
Exactly.
Pussy's so wet.
Yeah.
Let's go. What do the creatures look like? What do the monsters look like?
I want to say they're not humanoid. They're like literal fucking huge ass bugs. They're big fucking. I want their abdomen, right, to just be it's hollow. So it's just a big ass circle. You can see right through those motherfuckers.
Like it's like a translucent, like you can see through it.
No, there's literal hole. Like it's growing around. Like there's a big ass hole in their chest. You know what I mean? And that's where they place all the fucking as much dirt, minerals, and shit in their chest to carry, and then carry it off. You know what I mean? It gives them bigger fucking a bigger way to, like, maybe not a hole, but concave.
A cavity.
Yeah, cavity. It's, you know what I mean, to pack hella dirt inside and then carry the minerals in there, right? I want maybe their face to be. Have you ever seen a fucking a wasp?
Up close, yeah.
Yeah, like a wasp's face, but like for sure. Just jet black and just evil as fuck, but they have like giant ass canines or some shit like that.
Only thing I want to change on that same build. What if they have like you know how wasps have like numerous hands?
Yeah.
What if they have like human-esque hands? And that's what it is they're those hands are holding in what they're carrying.
Arms?
Yeah.
Okay.
So their arms, they don't look like, it's not like my arm on a bug.
Yeah, it's like slender arms.
Like Slender Man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit like that.
They fucked that movie up.
They had a nugget.
Dude, you had
gold.
a knockout. You had a fucking knockout.
Bro, the nigga was going to throw you an easy pitch.
Yeah.
How did you not knock it out the park?
Same with Cricket Man. Yo, Sci-Fi Channel, nigga, talk to us, bruh.
Sci-Fi Channel, dog, we got about 80 bitches for you. And all those 80 bitches ain't cute, but they're fuckable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They had the Cricket Man. Remember the Cricket Man from Conjuring 2?
Yeah, the nigga that was in the spinning thing.
Yeah, who was crip walking? Yeah. So they had a knockout with that shit and they fucked it up. Bro.
You know why? It's because they played to the same beat of the same drum.
Yeah.
They never switched up jump scares.
Yeah, that's true. It's always a nigga in the shadow.
And it's like the camera angle, like it's a POV of walking around the corner and then you looking away and then you turn back and there's like a pale bitch in front of you. You're like, okay, man, that's gonna get people.
Yeah.
But do you want to make a classic?
Yeah, I need still shots. I need to zoom in tight to the face.
Evil Dead wasn't scary.
Yeah.
But it's a classic.
Yeah.
You can go outside of that to make something dope. And they're just like, let's just stick with jump scares.
Yeah.
That's why The Conjuring 2 wasn't as good as The Conjuring.
Really? You think so? I thought it was amazing.
It was good, but I knew where it was going.
Really?
Up until the end? Up until the end, yes.
You knew where it was going when he was talking. The child reverted back into the old man and was talking.
I knew that old man, from the very beginning, wasn't what it was because they outright say it. He says something that's like on the lines of like,
yeah,
I don't want to be here.
Yeah,
or like,
sure.
Help me. And so when they hear that, I'm like, oh, that's just, they're playing his energy, his ghost, to be the evil person.
Yeah. But at the beginning, you knew that.
The second that I saw him,
I know, but
I was like, "There's no way
saying
they based this whole movie off an old nigga that likes his teeth."
I know that, but he literally said that I'm not the nigga, so you knew then that it was not him. Yeah. But at the beginning, when they're just like, "Oh, there's a man that has me," you were just like, he's not the person." Until you heard that dialogue. Until you heard the dialogue.
The first nigga.
I know, but until you heard the dialogue, you didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Once I heard the dialogue, I was like, oh, that's not the nigga.
Okay, yeah, because that's purposely how it's done.
All right, you son of a bitch. What I'm telling you is, you son of a bitch.
All right, so So we say Lynn and Clarence die. This is a 5-chapter thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Who figures it out?
Who figures what out?
Like, who figures it out? Like they all are going to the same mission, right? All dealing within their own way. Who's the person that figures out how to do it and get back to the ship?
Ben.
Let's go. Okay.
Ben gets it done. He does what he needs to do, and he gets right back to where he needs to be.
Why is he different?
I mean, this is only chapter 2, but...
Know what I'm saying? Like, what is different about him? Terrain? He knows it.
Terrain. Even if he doesn't...
They all know it, though, right?
They know of it.
You're not from San Diego.
You can read a fucking book about some shit, but experiencing it is a different thing.
A tiger sounds way different in person than it does.
Terrifying.
Over.
But in a video, you're just like, oh man, that's.
I'll fuck with it.
Yeah. I can knock that 800-pound nigga out, but Ben gets it done. You know what I mean? And he kills what he needs to kill, human or not, and he gets it fucking done.
I keep forgetting there's still humans trying to like escape.
Exactly. Yeah. And Zhang gets it done. He out of everybody, Zhang gets there first. Ben is the nigga who Zhang has the quickest mission.
I thought Zhang was a female.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but like it just changed my whole idea of like the person. You were like,
they could be a female can do the exact same shit.
I'm not saying they can't.
I know,
I'm just saying like in my head, I was seeing Wei Li. like when you said Zhang. That's what in my head was, and then when you say it's a dude, I'm like, oh, okay, that's like Li Jingling, like that's where my brain goes, but it doesn't matter.
Zhang gets there first and does what he, you know what I mean, and then Ben falls afterwards.
Clarence dies a horrible death.
Yeah,
Randy
makes it as well. So
that's 3 out of 5. That's not a bad ratio.
So I want there to be. When they get back to the ship, right? I want there to be some sort of like device on there that's just like, all right, like a countdown to detonate the bombs. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, what the fuck?
Well, I thought that was the whole point is that people think bombs going off.
Yes, but the fail safe in the ship is to detonate all the bombs anyway.
At once. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they feel betrayed by the fucking, you know what I mean? The powers that be that, oh, you didn't believe that we were going to do this shit. You didn't believe that we were going to come back.
Yeah. You sent us to die.
Yeah.
You sent us to play something that you were going to blow up either way.
Yeah. You were going to detonate the shit either fucking way.
Damn. That's cold. The world is scorched, and you're sending me into fire to like bring out life.
Yeah.
And you're counting on me dying.
And maybe Lynn doesn't detonate hers. You know what I'm saying? Ben does, Zane does, Clarence dies doing that, and Randy does. And then Lynn's is the last one that goes off.
What if none of them detonated outside of the last person? And that big bomb that you see go off is the only person that got it off. How do you feel about like we didn't lose this fight, but no, you're right. Let's keep that same energy. So Ben, Zhang, and Randy make it.
Yeah.
Back to the ship. Do they live? How does that end?
Yeah, they live. They go back to the fucking ship and they get the fuck out of there.
And they're salty?
I mean, it's just that you guys didn't believe that we're going to get this done and come back to the shit.
And niggas are surprised when they see you?
Yeah, they're just like, so let's say Lynn's didn't go off, Ben, James went off, Clarence died tearing his off, and Randy lost everything when he was getting the fuck out of there. Mm-hmm. So he didn't set his off, right? And while they're getting the fuck out of there, it's like in the nick of time as the clouds are, as the breeze is filling the atmosphere, and they get the fuck out of there, and the shit's counting down. Randy made it back in the nick of time. Ben and Zang are sitting there pissed, and Randy just like, my shit didn't go off. He's like, you see, like they didn't count. You know what I mean? Like coming back to each other, like, don't worry, because they didn't think we could fucking do this shit anyway. You know what I mean? They're coming back. They're talking to the main ship, and they're just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Talking to them back and forth.
They're leaving the planet's atmosphere. Jocelyn. And everybody's in their mind. People are talking to each other. And...
Are or not?
They are.
Okay.
They are. Everybody, like, people are talking... Some people are, like, shell-shocked. Kind of confused on what happened and what went down that day.
Yeah.
And that's when the bombs are going off. And it's like bombs that shouldn't have gone off. Like Lynn's bomb is going off because somebody's stepping on the detonator, like a creature as it's creeping over.
So the ship doesn't set off the bombs.
Well, what I'm thinking is, I mean, that explains everything. I just think like for the visual, it'd be nice to like for them to be shook. And then everything that they work for is happening in the background, and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it could go either way. It could be that you know what I mean, the ship is fucking setting the shit off, or somebody's stepping on the detonator. But since they have been on their own journey, it would tie them back together to be on the same team again after decimating an entire, civilization and shit like that. To be against one person. Instead of feeling like they're the villain for bringing out this task or completing this task, it is not necessarily that I wanted to do this, but I did it for us. But you didn't even believe in us sending us down here. You just wanted bodies.
Somebody to do it besides you.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't want your hands to be bloody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You like your hands free of soil and death. And that's what you sent us to do. So... I like it because it makes them a ragtag crew of heroes.
Yeah.
That some of them don't win. But some do, and they come back salty as fuck. Because for sure, if I see like 2 of my niggas die within like a 2-month period, and everybody's celebrating, I'm like, but my niggas died.
Yeah.
And they're just like, but you see these bombs going off? We did what we need to do. I'm like, Joe ain't here. What are you talking about? Why are we celebrating this? It shows you like the duality of like the nigga who sent you to war and the nigga who went to war.
Yeah, true. But in the end, at the end of the day, bro, who do you blame when you got your name called upon? You could have said no.
I mean, you start talking about parents, like why you lead me down this path?
Yeah, but it's just like. Parents is a different thing because, nurture versus nature, you can argue that shit all day. But they're just like, will you do this mission? You were like, for sure.
Yes.
But you know what comes with this. You're going to blow up the fucking world.
You can get back to your ship.
Yeah.
But you have to get back to your ship because we will not go find you. We will not go look for you.
You cannot fail it. And then come to find out that the fail-safe for them was to just blow up the world anyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sure.
I call it there. Call it.
All right. That was Honeycomb Project. This is Act 2 and 3. Yeah, man. Fucking, how many arms should they have?
I'd say a creepy amount because they're thin.
8.
Yeah. It's something where, like, when they're grabbing at you, it feels like there's multiple niggas grabbing you.
Yeah, but, like, stupid strong, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, some of them are, like, dwarf arms. Like, some of them aren't fully formed because they're grown in, like, such a fast pace that some of the arms are, like, the size of, like, Cairo's arm. And then some of them are our size.
How tall should they be? How big are they?
I'd say they'd have to be something where you could fade it, but you couldn't fade multiple of them.
Yeah.
5'2". You know what I mean? Standing up straight. Hunched, 4'10".
I'm thinking even bigger than that. Like a good 7, 8. Because these holes gotta be big as fuck.
But that's the thing burrowing. Is that you're basing their stature off of what we are. What if their stature is
based off of the holes in the ground that are honeycombs.
What if they're built like a teardrop, and they get fatter like a bee would with his butt, and that's where the hole is. Not at his butt, but you know what I mean? They're dense creatures, and they have a cavity in the front of them where they're holding this mineral and running back to the hive with it.
Yeah.
So they're built in my head I see a teardrop-esque nigga.
So how big are the wings then?
Oh, huge.
Okay.
They'd have to be huge because they're a dense creature.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that was the Honeycomb Project, Act 2 and 3. I am your host, Jody Pratt, with my fellow host, Patrick Wigfall.
Yo.
I love you. We love you. Don't stop being creative.
Love you guys, man.
Peace. Email us at thescrapbookpodcast@gmail.com. We're the Scrapbook Podcast at Gmail. No, we are the Scrapbook Podcast everywhere. Fuck with us, please. Peace.
Love y'all niggas. Deuces.